there folks, sit tight today because this time we're going to talk about the chaotic realm of the entertainment industry, and boy is it a calliope of calamities and, well, potential survival of the fittest kind of strategy planning session that all of these studios have to invest in. In fact, truly it's just more chaotic than anything else. So, here we go! First, let's take a look at the headlines recently. It looks like the media sector's holiday season is missing the joy this year. I mean, you saw what happened to these major studios and the underperformance of a whole lot of films. They're feeling the sting of sinking share prices right now, which they created, dwindling revenue streams, which they also created, and an exhausting struggle to turn their direct-to-consumer operations profitable, which in turn destroys the other two things that we were just talking about. So, it's a mixed bag of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps back, 1 step forward. I don't know. All I know is this is not a rescue mission I would sign up for. Meanwhile, Netflix seems to be claiming victory in the streaming wars, and there's nobody here really to argue with them because, well, they're right. And as I've said before, the war is over and we already know who the victors are. It's a no-brainer when you start to think about it that Netflix had a massive head start. They had a few fumbles on their way, but their competitors fumbled even more, and now they're just trying to play catch-up. Disney is known for their unbeatable franchises, yet somehow they were able to turn pure gold into a crisis. That's a classic Iger move right there. Now, here's the kicker, and it goes for more studios than Disney right now. Streaming has ended up being the ruler, but is it profitable? No, it's not quite there yet, and theatrical and linear television, well, they're on that downward spiral we've been talking about. And guess what? Everybody's just lining up to license their content to Netflix once again, which is where we were before all of these streaming wars started. And as a result of this incredibly myopic thinking by the studios, we've got peak TV in ruins, and the shareholders, well, they've lost millions, if not billions of dollars along this very bumpy and experimental road. It was a giant waste of money. Now, we have to ask the question, what's the way forward for these legacy players in this direct-to-consumer space, right? This pivot of doom that they've all taken. I mean, what is the solution for all these forced errors and missteps along the way? It turns out that the big fix that everybody's been talking about is consolidation. Now, while that's a predictable response, it's not really a solution, and yet you've got Paramount Global, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Comcast all supposedly playing some hypothetical musical chairs, at least as far as an M&A game is being played. Now, let's not ignore that Warner Brothers Discovery's value has tanked since its merger, at least as far as trading is concerned, and although far from what the mainstream reported as a future bankruptcy, Wall Street vibes here are not exactly positive about a Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery merger. And David Zaslav's pride or hubris might obviously spice things up if he prefers to be owner rather than be purchased. And if you actually look at the finances, the books of each of these companies, it would seem to go in Zaslav's favor. Of course, these kinds of struggles always comes with the gnashing of teeth and the rending of garments, so, well, be prepared for some drama there, at least when we get to around April. And even if these guys merge, their streaming combo might still be quite the David to an enormous Goliath, because together Paramount Plus and Max barely make a blip in TV viewing time, and compared to the adversaries like YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon, well, they're small potatoes. In other words, a merger might not beef up those numbers, especially if it comes with a wallet-draining subscription hike, which will lose a bunch of subscribers. Plus, acquiring Paramount would weigh heavily on Warner Brothers Discovery's balance sheet, which is already burdened with like $45 billion of debt. So that kind of spells a financial strain on a company, especially when their content spending is already very tight. Good luck challenging Netflix with that kind of baggage and that debt, because you won't have any money to spend on stuff. Now, don't expect tech giants like Apple and Amazon to join in the M&A party, because they've got enough cash to fight off Netflix and give them a run for their money, but they aren't really big on Hollywood spending sprees. They're very patient. They are probably rather wary, actually, of the more regulation-related entanglements with the government right now, because, Well, government's given them good reason. And for certain, we can forget all about Paramount's broadcast television operations when it comes to these tech companies, because they're way more hassle than any of those guys need. But wait, there's much more here. There's another route available. And if you look to the former Warner Media Hulu CEO, Jason Kilar, he's making a pitch that is basically a modern everything product for consumers. The mother of all aggregators, a bundle of all bundles. And that sounds good, right? Except that none of these guys are known for, well, coordinating their attacks. They're usually attacking each other. So it's not exactly their forte. And bundling will likely continue in limited forms, because we have that now, like small combinations of telecom back deals, things like that. But these bundles might grow in demand, but their power in the streaming game, that's not exactly revolutionary. Now, Netflix is already getting cozy in some of these bundles that are out there, nullifying any edge for its rivals to gain. It's a smart move for them because it'll prevent an end around by another ambitious player out there. So can the studios really give Netflix a run for their money? I wouldn't bet on it. And at this point, they're really just grasping at straws and looking for ways to weather this particular storm. Whether it's mergers and acquisition, bundling, using their library as a form of currency, it's a year of survival by any means necessary in 2024. And to be crystal clear here, a studio or even multiple studios are not going to make it in 2025. At least not intact as they are structured now. And remember, I predicted that the streamers' trial and error would be this year, 2023. Well, 2024 seems to be shaping up as the year of pulling out all the stops just to survive. So I ask you, what's your take on this ongoing streaming fallout? Do you see these legacy players finding a game-changing strategy? Or is it just about this survival mode that I'm talking about, as I suggest? Don't forget to hit the like button and the comment section down below, because I'm curious about your thoughts. And hey, stay tuned here for more twists and turns in the world of entertainment, because that's what I do. And it's simple. Just hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and it's free, so you won't miss anything. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya!